It's your boy Crypto Blood. What's going on, fam? Just wanted to give you guys a quick video. I'm sure many of you are watching or have watched the David Siegel PLR CEO interview we did on the Block Party podcast. We actually recorded that on Friday, but we published it today. We try to publish on Sundays every 2 weeks, Sundays or Saturdays, it just depends. But great interview. But you know, after doing kind of watching it, my wife was actually watching the interview this morning after it was published, and you know, I was just thinking about it. Like, I think them making the decision to block U.S. citizens from participating in the wallet aspect of PLR is a big blow, in my opinion. And to me, when I heard that, I said I got to push my targets out and readjust my projections for growth with PLR, in my opinion. It's nothing against David Siegel. I think he's an excellent person to lead the PLR project, just from his experience, you know, having a few startups in the past. That type of experience is invaluable. That's really something that you have to go through to really understand, right? So nothing against him. I just think it's more so against the SEC and a lot of the regulatory agencies here in the US. They're gonna, like David said, they're going to regulate themselves out of this whole boom, this paradigm shift. And it's unfortunate, but I'm definitely changing my stance or my bullish view for PLR for 2018. I got to push that out at least 24 months minimum. You know, will we see PLR at $5 this year? Possibly. That's a possibility. I'm not saying that's not possible. But $100 or more, north of $100, I don't see it. I don't see it. And you know, that's just my opinion. You know, I always keep it 100 with you guys as far as how I feel about certain things. So I'm definitely changing my stance on that. But other than that, I thought it was a great interview. Like he said, you know, the SEC, the U.S. regulators are just going to regulate themselves into the dark ages, basically. You know, it's unfortunate. And these countries that are crypto friendly will flourish, and you will see a lot of innovation happen there, and they will be able to pivot and innovate and reiterate, you know, and basically grow much faster. And really, you'll see a lot of stuff coming out of these other countries that are very crypto friendly. So that's kind of my stance on that. That was my 2 Satoshis on that. But as for the markets, I was talking to John App, just got off the phone with him. We were chatting for about an hour. And, you know, he's been in this game. I kind of introduced him to cryptos back when I got in 2013, late 2012. And he agrees with me. And we were just talking like manipulation. Nah, I don't. If you like, and I said this in my video the other day, if there is manipulation, then it can only be manipulated in and then out to the levels that we were at before the manipulation started. Where that is, I don't know. But you know, for us to call manipulation on the way down, it's just funny how we can call manipulation on the way down, but on the way up, it's free markets, it's the tech, it's the next tech evolution boom and all that stuff on the way up. But on the way down, it's manipulation and the cartel, this and that. And I have to disagree with you guys. I have to disagree with the individuals that feel like this is a manipulation downward. No, that's the easy way out. You know what I mean? That's the easy way, and to basically deflect the hard facts. And the facts are, we got overvalued for sure. You know, I personally didn't even think we would get this low. But we got overvalued. You know, when you have, like I told you the other day, when you have Tron valuations at where they were, Cardano, Ripple, even Bitcoin, you know, I think we got ahead of ourselves. Whether that was initiated by some manipulation in money coming in, you know, capital flowing into the space, if it was that, or just, you know, the hype of a whole bunch of individuals getting into the space, either way, I think we kind of got ahead of ourselves. And you know, calling it manipulation is just the easy way out, in my opinion. You know, we weren't calling it when I saw Bitcoin go from $1,000 down to $90 shortly after around the Mt. Gox time period. No one was calling manipulation then. You know what I mean? This is a free markets. You say you want free markets, then you have to own up and take responsibility for these wild swings that we see. There are no circuit breakers in this game. There are no days off in this game. You know what I mean? So manipulation, maybe, you know, but hell, that's what we want, right? We want free markets. I mean, I do. So you got to take the good with the bad. You can't just, you know, you can't be one-sided with it. You can't scream free markets on the way up, Goldilocks, you know, everything is all great, fine and dandy, you know, we're getting rid of the banks, this and that on the way up, and then call manipulation by the banks or the outside cabal system when it's on the way down. That's not, you know, we really got to rethink that. I think we should definitely be looking at this as a lifestyle. And if you're not willing to take this pain, then you don't need to be in this game. You're not a real crypto. You know, you're not a real crypto person if you can't handle the heat on the way down and believe in the technology. I've seen so many times in the past. I can probably count 7 to 8 times since being in this game where people have called Bitcoin dead and so on and so forth. And this was when Bitcoin was it, like Bitcoin and coins. It was just crypto coins. There were no tokens. There was no you know, tokenization, tokens representing companies, tokens representing individuals, utility tokens. None of this was around. So the premise of Bitcoin being dead back then held more value, held more, you know, I could understand if someone thought that and saw the whole market cap crash and everything going to hell. I can understand why you would, you know, at least your argument would have more validity then. It has less validity now, in my opinion, because we have more than coins now. It's more about blockchain and tokens. The tokenization economy is going to be the future, you know. So I'm not saying, and I'm not saying hodl to zero. No, I'm not saying none of that at all. I take profits, you know, and I've been preaching that since I started the channel. You know, you have to take incremental profits on the way up and on the way down, so you don't feel like you've just wasted your time. And that's exactly what you've done. If you don't take profits, it didn't exist. So if you had someone that held Bitcoin from sub 1,000 all the way up to 20,000 and never took profits, well, let me use this example, because at current prices, you have someone that bought Bitcoin at $6,500 and held all the way up to 20,000, and it came back down to $6,500. All that 20,000 was unrealized profits. They didn't exist. They don't exist until you take profits. And I've been telling you guys that for the longest. I learned my lesson from when I was heavily involved in the Forex markets. It doesn't exist until you take until you realize it doesn't exist. Now that's a double-edged sword, because this don't exist until you actually realize those losses as well. So you can look at it both ways, but I'm just kind of giving you guys some framework and philosophy on how these markets work and how profits and losses work. They don't exist until you realize them. So stop screaming manipulation on the way down. And if you weren't the same person screaming manipulation on the way up, can't be both sides. Very contradicting. So just wanted to kind of give you guys that's my 2 Satoshis for today. And make sure you guys like and subscribe. And hey, who knows where the bottoms are? You know, you should have been taking profits on the way up and taking profits on the way down, so you will have some dry powder, you know. And if you're really about this culture, this community, then you wouldn't be selling everything and going back to what you were doing before you found out about cryptos. So this is more so for the individuals that are fairly new to the game. 2017, you know, that was a big year for cryptocurrencies. Biggest year I've ever seen. And so this is a wake-up call for those individuals. Make sure you understand why you're in this game, you know. So that's pretty much it. I've been rambling for a minute. I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest. Manipulation, possibly, but I mean, this is free markets, right? This is what we wanted. So unless you want to go back to the old paradigm where it's not free, they're not free markets, and only the people who are in control of capital flows benefit. If you want to go back to that, then go back to that. You know, for those that don't want to go back to that, this is what we have to understand will happen. Wild swings, and these are real markets, and we will eventually come to where the market as a whole, a collective consciousness as a whole, will come to a price where equilibrium is. And where that is, I have no clue. But for the long term, from a long-term perspective, man, this is the best asset class we could be in.